Today we're making this key holder. Maybe I should have made it a little bit bigger. I want to make this project out of strictly one board because I figure with the price of lumber these days, I don't want to use too much because this might actually be my retirement. After giving my board a quick little sanding, I clamp it down and I cut it so that I can get two pieces. Then what I do is that I'm actually going to use my router as if it was a jointer because I want those pieces to be flush together with as little of a seam between them as possible. As you can tell today, I'm practicing with hand tools because I figured it would be making this video a lot more exciting. Hey, cameraman, wake up. What are you doing, dude? So once I've prepared those boards to the same length, a little bit of cleanup on the work surface, I want to make sure that they are really flush together. And if I do say so myself, that's pretty damn good. Not perfect, but good enough. So my strategy is that I'm going to flip them around, fill them up with glue, a most generous amount too, and then just spread it around with a little piece of wood. Well, I'm going to flip them around in the same order and put them up on this little board and tack a couple of nails so that they don't move while they dry. As it turns out, my board is a little bit bigger than the pallet wood, so I'm just going to trim that off and make sure everything is square. I find that card scrapers are absolutely wonderful when it comes to removing dry glue. And then we burn the wood. So I have the advantage of doing this in snow. Wherever you do this, make sure that you have a solution if things go bad. Marking all the holes. I want a lot of hooks on this thing. A ton of keys potentially may hang on it, and I don't want to basically run short, if you know what I mean. As it turns out, card scrapers are also excellent for removing snow stuck to the back of MDF. I want to be able to hang this thing on the wall with a single screw. So I will mark the absolute center. Once I have that and a little line, here I'm just making sure that I have a nice little hole. I will pre-drill this hole with a Forstner bit. Once I have a Forstner bit, I will take a keyhole router bit. So here I'm positioning the router at just the right position inside dead center of the hole and with the right depth. And I'm going to clamp a square next to it to make sure that when I move the router, I move exactly upwards without deviation. So once I'm satisfied with the length of my hole, I clear it up and it's essentially ready to be hung. And then comes the fun part of manually screwing in all those hooks. Looks pretty good, don't it? Now you would think that this little mistake is just a conversion between metrics and, the imperial system, but unfortunately it seems that I didn't take the right measurement. So after a very quick surgery, I think it's going to fit pretty nicely now. So I put in that screw in the wall, and because of the keyhole router bit, I just basically pop it in there and let it slide down, and it hangs perfectly well. So now at this point, all I got to do is start hanging some keys. And this is actually much better than the original one. more room for expansion. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time.